Hey, love, why would you manifest in a month when you could manifest in a day? Because I literally guarantee you, your specific person is thinking about you right now. And the only reason you don't believe this is totally connected to our self concept, or what we would call is self efficacy. Because the time at which it takes us to manifest our specific person or bring anything we want in our reality is actually totally due to our belief, but our belief is also connected to our self concept. And there's actually a couple ways in which we can kind of bridge this gap, because honestly, this is not another self concept video of telling you, okay, you just need to think of yourself as better or think of yourself as more worthy. That's not what we're going to do today. And I'll give you an example and a technique that I want you to do in this video to literally turn those months of manifesting into a single day. And it's first and foremost coming from Neville Goddard. So the first idea that I want to talk about is the difference between thinking of the end and thinking from the end. Now, honestly, this isn't the first time that you've probably heard this, because it is so important. I'll tell you exactly why it's going to increase our self-esteem and increase our self-concept by acting in one way and not the other. Because thinking of the end is just thinking about your specific person. So if you're just like, oh, that would be so awesome if I was with my specific person, or that would be so cool if they texted me, or think of that previous affirmation, they're thinking of you right now, thinking, oh, that would be so cool if they were thinking about me right now. That's an example of thinking of the end. But thinking from the end is a feeling as if it's occurring at this moment. And think about, again, if you were someone who has a massively amazing pinnacle peak self-concept, you know exactly what you're worth, and you know and feel and believe that you can manifest right here and right now. Then when I mention the statement, your specific person is thinking about you, then it feels very good. You believe it instantly. There's no portion of your body that goes against this. And I would say if right now you instantly believe that, that is an amazing sign. But if you didn't instantly believe it, that's okay. It's not like you're totally messing up your manifestation, but it is going to turn, this is switching these states is going to turn manifesting a month into manifesting a day. And the best thing I always like to say whenever we think about manifesting that fast, really a day is not fast in the grand scheme of things within your subconscious mind. A day is actually a really long time. When you know that you already have everything within you, a day is basically like an eternity. And I think I recently talked about this Neville Goddard quote, but it's Neville Goddard saying to even say it is near is to say it is too far. You already have your specific person. It's already within you. All you have to do is pick and choose and exhibit or live out that feeling. In the same way that right now, if you can think about it in the way of maybe happiness or success, think about happiness. You always, at any given point in time, can choose to be happy, right? It's totally within you. It's totally available. No one outside of you is actually going to give you happiness except yourself. And so to even say you're near happiness is to say you're too far, because you actually have the ability to create it right here and right now. And the way I always like to think of living or thinking of the end and from the end is to think about watching a movie, right? And if you guys are long-term subscribers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Watching a movie is thinking of the end. Living the movie is thinking from the end. So if you're watching a movie thinking, oh my God, that's so cool, that's so great, it's so awesome, they're doing it, thinking of the end in the same way we're thinking that would be so cool if with our specific person as well. But if you're living it, you're feeling it, you're sometimes even watching a movie, you feel this way. You feel like you're actually in the movie. That's thinking from the end. That's thinking and feeling as if you already have it, not thinking about it, thinking and living and assuming the state. And that is so powerful, again, to our self-concept, because our self-concept is going to inhibit this feeling of thinking from the end. Because if you truly don't feel worthy, and actually I had a couple coaching sessions today that basically talked about this idea. When you don't feel worthy, your body and your mind, I almost said your mind, your mind create that to happen. You are always going to be accepting all the love that you feel you deserve right here and right now. So if your self-concept is kind of lower, your self-esteem is lower, you're going to feel, I don't deserve this, I can't have this, which is going to restrict this idea of thinking from the end. But I'm here to tell you, you are more than worthy, more than deserving of everything you could ever imagine. And I'll even go into the state of this is your reality, whether you are seeing it or not. Because most of the time, whenever I've had someone in the state of I'm not worthy, I can't do it, it's because their internal state at the moment is not the greatest. And so whatever you're feeling within, you're going to find your entire mind and body kind of align with it. So just in the case that when you're feeling down, worried, stressed, or anxious, every single outcome seemingly aligns with that. But at this point in time, all we would have to do is focus on our internal state, and we're going to see the exact opposite begin to happen. Because a lot of times people will come to coaching, or maybe this is your situation right now. We feel as if it's going horribly wrong. But really, from an outside perspective, that's just because of our state of our previous version of ourselves kind of getting upset or angry with, I feel like I didn't deserve love and we're receiving love. So our mind has to make up some excuse to kind of change that. Because I, again, had today someone literally having their specific person pursue them, chase them, texted them multiple times in a row, and was still worried like, I feel like this isn't going the way I want. And it's really crazy what can happen when your mind and your body and your state are aligning with a less than positive outcome. Or if you're just it's okay if we're in a mood sometimes, but the trick would be do not take an action from that state, because your body and mind want to do this, because the quickest way to a state change, or the quickest way to assume a state, is to take a physiological change. Meaning, if you are feeling down, your body wants to take depressed or less than positive actions to reaffirm it. So if you feel right now you need to blow up on your specific person, yell at them, text them something mean, this is not you. This is an illusion that your mind is actually putting on in order to keep you in that state. So we actually never, ever take a action that is not in the state you want. It's literally best to do absolutely nothing, to literally walk away from the situation, than to act in a state that you don't want. And don't feel, if your specific person texts you and you're not in a good state, don't feel like you have to text back, or that by not texting back, you're messing anything up. No, you are taking the best possible action that you could ever imagine, because every single action that comes from a less than positive state is only going to reiterate and create more of that state. And so the next thing I want to focus on is actually this technique that is going to change your manifestation from manifesting within months to manifesting literally within days, hours, or even seconds. And so this is going to be a role model technique that I created, because we want to begin assuming and acting as the version of ourselves that's already in the end state. And sometimes that feels really hard or difficult to do, right? Sometimes I've had people, like, I've asked them, like, imagine the version of you that's irresistible. And they're like, I can't. It's so hard to feel, or so hard to believe. Now, you could never not have the ability to manifest or imagine the version of yourself that's irresistible, but sometimes it feels that way. So instead, here's what I want you to do. And it's going to be a technique that you are going to utilize for the next 24 hours. And there's going to be two different ways you could do this, but I would actually try both of them, because there's one that we really want to focus on, but can sometimes feel really difficult or hard to get into. So what we're going to do right now to increase this ability or feeling that we can see ourselves in our end state, I want you to think about whoever it is in your reality that you define as the pinnacle of confidence, the best, most confident, abundant person that you know of. It could be someone you know, a friend, a family member, or it could be a celebrity. Now, I feel like a lot of people are probably going to choose a celebrity or someone in the reality that represents that. And so what I want you to do for the day is you're going to be this person. You're going to act as this person in their confident state towards your specific person, and actually towards everything in your reality. So basically, you are going to wear their confidence as if it was yours, and basically ask yourself, let's say you choose to think about you're going to be Justin Bieber or you're going to be Kylie Jenner for the day. Either of those people, you're going to ask yourself, what would they do in this situation? Oh, you're at the supermarket. How does Kylie Jenner walk in the supermarket? How do they act? How do they think? What do they think others are thinking about them in the supermarket? What beliefs and ideas are they consciously creating? What mental diet are they on? Literally, what are they thinking about in terms of everything that is happening? And so all you have to do, because I know on the surface, your mind is going to want to go against this, especially if we feel as if we do not have the self-concept to create this. But you do. You have the ability within you right here and right now. But so act as that individual, and you'll find your mind, for some reason, automatically just take it on. Like we'll be like, okay, I'll act that way for a little bit, because your mind and your body and your ego are only threatened when you are going to have a long-term change. And so just try it for the next 24 hours, and you will see it will change the way that you perceive confidence, the way you perceive self-esteem, and everything in the middle. Now, that's going to be the first thing. And I'll give you some kind of support on this as well, so don't worry. That's the first way of doing this. But then the second one, and this is where we have to make this leap into the new state, because this is going to, acting as Justin Bieber or Kylie Jenner, that's really good. But we also need to make a small, such a tiny little jump in order to then manifest exactly what we want in those days instead of months. So the next leap is, you are, after this 24 hours of being, again, whoever you feel is the pinnacle of confidence, we're going to spend the next 24 hours cultivating and bringing out that version of ourselves that is confident, abundant, and that pinnacle of confidence, like I mentioned. So you basically are going to act as the perfect version of you. And you'll see when you are acting these out, one, you're going to see a massive change in everything that is happening around you, but also your feelings and internal state it's going to seem so much easier to align with the end. It's going to be so much easier to believe that tomorrow your specific person can reach out after doing this. But the point is why we want to then first kind of mimic the state with someone who we look up to and then transfer it to who we feel we are, is because when you are manifesting for yourself, that's how you get what you want in the quickest possible way. And that's how we cultivate this permanent state. Because it's nice to feel as, again, Kylie Jenner or Justin Bieber, but when we are ourselves in that state, that's how you stay there permanently and you actually make an internal state change. So you want to ask yourself, you in your end, what do you think? What do you do? How do you act? What do you feel like? And it will seem, if you're still right now like, I'd have no clue how to do this, that's okay. When you try the first method of acting as someone who you really look up to, you'll find that everything becomes so much easier, so much more effortless. It's literally going to be automatic, because again, remember, you only see a positive outcome when you're in a positive state. And if you are not feeling in that state, you're going to see and feel the exact opposite. So it's okay if right now we are feeling down. Perfectly fine. Or if when I was thinking about that, you're kind of nervous about acting this out, that's okay as well, because our state, again, wants to remain in the same exact spot. So when we are kind of pushing or pulling ourselves out of that previous state, almost think of what Neville Goddard would say. Neville Goddard would say that we need to completely die to that previous state. And think about a version of yourself dying. It doesn't really seem like it would be a very peaceful or natural way. Now, it can be easy, because we truly do not have any connection to any specific individual. Like, you can pull out the confident version of yourself, the shy version of yourself, the successful version of yourself, the wealthy version of yourself. All of those can be pulled out right here and right now. So truly you don't have any connection, but it feels like we do when we have done something over and over and over again. Like the same idea that if you woke up at 9 a.m. every day for the last 10 years, try to wake up at 6 a.m. and see how it feels. It's going to feel really weird and really odd. Now, to say that it's impossible to wake up at 6 a.m., that's just not true, right? That's not the case. The more you do and wake up at 6 a.m., the easier it is. And you could overnight just change that and just be someone who wakes up at 6 a.m. and do that every single day. But sometimes it feels like we're accustomed to that previous state. So it's okay if at first, again, you feel your mind drifting back to a previous state, because I actually have something that is going to massively help out with this. And this is to match your inner speech to what you would be saying out loud had you already received what you want. So when you are diving into these characters, and again, I have a really cool success story later on to kind of show. It's like a really, really fun one. It's kind of a longer one, but I absolutely love it, and you guys are going to love it. Match your internal mental diet to exactly what you would say out loud as these individuals, okay? So if you're Kylie Jenner, what would Kylie Jenner say out loud? And start to say that within in your mind as you go throughout your day. Now, I say within because we want to begin aligning our thoughts with it. Our internal state is the most important thing. Now, obviously, you can speak out loud and say whatever you want. Obviously, align it with the end state, but you want to make sure that we are making our internal state, our inner dialogue, and our thoughts match that. That's literally the most important factor for a long-term change, because you can say whatever you want on the outside, but if your internal dialogue and state does not match, it's not going to get us to where we want to go. It can actually cause anxiety if you are outside of yourself stating, oh, I'm so confident, and internally you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do this, right? The inner dialogue is absolutely going to override and overcome that outer dialogue. So make sure that you are matching your inner dialogue to what you would say out loud. And the same goes for when you begin to cultivate this version of yourself, that version of yourself in your end state. So, or that aligns with manifesting or being with your specific person. So the idea behind it is, for the next 24 hours, we're going to pick that person who we feel is most confident. We're going to be them, okay? You're going to put on their metaphorical clothing, their metaphorical mindset, and you're going to act as that individual. Even you can make it a joke with your friends and literally just be that person. Answer how they would answer. Have fun with it. Enjoy yourself. And then, depending on how you're feeling, you're going to feel really, really good if you act this out. If you can, then the next 24 hours, I want you to cultivate this within yourself. And when I mentioned that you can go from manifesting in months to manifesting in a day with this idea, you absolutely can. Because when you dive into this, and again, you don't have to believe me right now, but when your internal state changes, when you have a change, everything begins to align with it. So when you start to think from the end, you imagine yourself with your specific person. When you are this version of yourself that is so confident, so loved, and so desired, it's going to be seemingly so much easier than anything you could ever do. You could literally try for months and months and months and months and months to create this effect, and literally do it within 24 hours just through your imagination, because you don't have to take massive action, do anything crazy, add a lot of effort into doing this, because really it is just something that you're going to be thinking, something that you're going to be assuming, something really, again, it can be easy and effortless. If it feels like you're trying too much, that's okay, because pull yourself out of it though, because thoughts and feelings and emotions, you don't have to be too hard on yourself. If your mind doesn't immediately start thinking in the way that it is, or if you have a negative thought, that's okay. Like if you do say out loud, like, I'm so confident, and internally you're like, no, you're not, that's okay. You're not messing anything up. You're actually in the process of changing it, because your mind and body want to naturally react. Like if you woke up at 6 a.m. tomorrow and you normally woke up at 9 a.m. and you're tired, you didn't mess anything up, right? Absolutely nothing is messed up. Actually, everything is going perfectly fine. But we just want to remember that, because we can get really disempowering if we begin to focus on all of these negatives. And so what I wanted to do as well again today, so remember, that's your challenge. Next 24 hours, you're living and feeling as the version of yourself that is already with your specific person. And then, or the version, next 24 hours is that celebrity, the person in your reality in life that you feel is the pinnacle of confidence. And then the next 24 hours, that's the version of you that's in the end state, okay? And if you know for a fact, if you're in this challenge, comment down below, I am in, and I want you to comment below as well. Just a little intention to kind of add to it is my specific person is thinking about me right now, right after you like this video. So you got to set the intention. You have to like the video and then comment, my specific person is thinking of me right now. Now, if you only have time to like the video, that's okay. I'm going to set the same intention on that. But I wanted to show you a really, really cool success story. I think it's really cool because they literally go from months to manifesting within days. But I want, again, it's kind of a longer one. I'll read it to you. Do not worry. But I love it, so make sure you're sticking around for this. So like I mentioned, this is a longer one, so I'm gonna actually, maybe I should move over here. I'm gonna move over to the side so we can have the whole thing on there. And so I'll read it for you. So here's what they wrote. They wrote, "Hey Kyle, I just wanted to share my story with you. You can also share this on YouTube and with other members if you want to, but your YouTube videos have literally changed my whole life. This feels so unreal because I've been manifesting my specific person for 4 months now. My specific person is actually my ex-boyfriend. He just added me on Snapchat on December, and we have been seeing each other for a few times now. And about a few weeks ago, I felt like my manifestation wasn't really working, and I felt like I failed this whole thing because he suddenly stopped texting me. After a few days, I decided to become a YouTube member on your channel, and I've been watching all the lives and some meditations you've made. I feel very comfortable and safe when I'm watching your videos, and after a few days, my specific person started to text me again. I didn't really do anything but watched your videos, and he literally spammed me the whole day and told me how beautiful I was. I think that this was a sign for me to not stop manifesting my goals. Thanks. That's all. Thanks to you, Kyle. You're a really awesome coach. I will definitely continue being a YouTube member on your channel. Sorry for my bad English. I think so. Think about that manifestation. And again, I know it seems like a long one, and I actually almost want to include this in another video because it just discusses or talks and shows how you could be manifesting for months, and just by assuming and feeling into the state, again, with intention. And again, I would say this aligns with my own manifestation because if you are new here or you don't know, or if you see my videos, I've been manifesting for all my members. So if you want to make your manifestation easy and effortless and have me basically manifest for you just like this person did, click the link in my description. And we meet up every single week. But the goal or idea, even if you don't do that, because it's not necessary, the goal behind it is that your reality can change really, really quickly, really, really fast. And it all has to do with your intention and what you feel is your reality and your belief. Because for my members, I do have specific meditations and things like that for everyone. And going live, obviously, that's the whole idea, that I have my own manifestation of manifesting 10,000 success stories for my members. And this is one of them. So it's like absolutely amazing to see this. But remember, if they can do it, then you can do it too. And it doesn't have to be my meditations. You can pick any meditation you want, just something that gets you into the state and a way to keep you in that process. And this is exactly literally how you are going to turn manifesting from months into literally manifesting within days. And I love also that they wrote, because this also shows the power of intention. They didn't do anything but watch my videos and became a member. That's literally all that they had to do. The power of your subconscious and your assumptions is more powerful than anything you could ever imagine. So trust in that. Give power to it. Stop denying who you are. You can create your entire reality. It's all about your assumptions. If you did have any questions on this idea, make sure to comment them down below. Remember, you can also reach out to me at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Remember as well, if you did want me to manifest for you and get the same exact results with my members, just click the link in the description. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to hear your successes, and I can't wait for you to try out this challenge. Make sure to comment all of your awesome kind of movements, successes, worries. So basically, bookmark this video and come back to your comment of your intention setting that your specific person is thinking about you right now. Comment "I'm in" or anything like that, and keep me updated on everything that is happening, because when you keep yourself in the process, in the state, you're going to see that your reality changes overnight. Again, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see all of your results in my next video tomorrow.